Hit the groove, no funk in here, the beat way too smooth. Let's just do what we came to do, just vibe with it, vibe with it, vibe with it, vibe with it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of No Excuses with Chris G. I'm your host, Chris George, co-founder and chairman of SUBTA. On this show, we talk to subscription box owners, those that are in early stage, and we help them build their business. They ask me questions on things that they're going through, and I take time to try to give them advice and really help them grow their business. And for those of you that are watching, it's your opportunity to hear some of those answers. I'm sure that you can relate to some of the things that they might be asking. So really excited today. I've got Amy Rowell with PK's Gift Box. She's the co-founder and owner, or founder and owner. Amy, thanks so much for being on today.
Hey, thank you.
Did I say your last name right? I don't know if it was Rowell or Rowell.
No, it's Amy Rowell.
Rowell.
PK's Gift Closet.
Got it. Oh, I said gift box, didn't I?
It is a gift box, though.
Yes, it is a gift box. Amy, thanks so much for being on today. Let's take a quick second. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your subscription box.
Okay, well, first of all, I worked in professional sports for 25 years.
Wow.
I decided to move back home and open my own business, gifting and event venue, right as COVID hit. So I had to pivot. And I sort of did a list like Gary Vee style, thinking of all the stuff that I love to do, skills in my career, but then also like things I loved as a child and stuff like that. And the sub box really hit a lot of those things. And so I came up with the idea for PK's Gift Closet. It's geared towards gifting to other people. It has 6 gifts and everything you need to wrap them. Boxes, bags, tissue, cards, ribbon, everything. So you don't have to go out last minute. Hopefully there's something in there that will help for a last minute birthday or thinking of you, something like that. And so that's sort of how the idea came to be.
And so it's like shopping for you, right?
It is. I am doing the legwork.
And why did this appeal to you? Why did you decide to do this and do a subscription format?
I like to give gifts to other people. And from my career, I worked a lot in events and hospitality, and that was kind of my niche, was the detail, the picking out the really cool gift and things like that. And I have always had an eye for different, unique things. And so I wanted to kind of bring that to people who may not be able to have access to some of those gifts. And then I also wanted to provide convenience by having all the gift wrap things, so you don't have to go out and spend $30 on stuff that you may never use again. And I was just kind of thinking of, especially with COVID happening, I was thinking about convenience, solving that pain point of not wanting to go out, not wanting to run around if I didn't have time, that kind of stuff. So
sure. Well, I like it. It's great.
Thank you.
So I know you launched, you're in your 6th renewal now, you said, right?
Yeah.
So about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And you're quarterly, which I'm a big advocate for quarterly subscriptions. So I think that's good.
Will you expand on that?
Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons why I like quarterly. 1, you're building 4 boxes a year instead of 12.
Okay.
Right? But 2, you typically get lower churn because consumers don't get product fatigue, right? So in your case, like, do they need 12 months of gifts to give away? Or are they giving it that much, right? It also gives you more time to sell out. So if you create a winter box, like, you've got 3 months to sell the winter box, right? So lots of good reasons. We had, several of the brands I work with, even our own brand that we had in the past, when we pivoted to the quarterly model, it completely changed our business, right? So works really well. Now let's talk about your business and the questions you have for me. I know you have some questions around ads, so please fire away.
I have plenty of questions. One of the things that I'm really struggling with is I get incredible feedback on my product. I get wonderful messages. I get just all kinds of great feedback. My churn is very low. It's 1%, which
Amazing.
is phenomenal. None of that leads to likes, follows, customer. I do ads on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Anything that I do, I can't get people to review the box. I don't know the recipe on how to convert this incredible. I mean, it's 98% positive, and the 2% that is not positive is neutral. Like, this is not my take. These gifts are not my taste, which fair. You know, I'm not going to be, I'm picking out all the gifts right now. So obviously my taste is not going to be for everyone. So that's legit feedback. That's not negative in my point. So I don't know where to put my limited funds I don't know where to throw it. I don't know. Do I keep going to social media? I'm at a loss. I completely cannot figure it out.
Well, so let's go back to a few things. Are your ads getting people to the website? They're just not buying?
Yes, I get a ton of awareness, that funnel. I'm in the awareness and the consideration. I
Yeah, but
cannot.
awareness is different than clicks to the website. Are you getting people to go to the homepage?
Yes.
Okay. But they're not buying. What's your website conversion rate? Do you know?
I don't know that.
Okay. So that's one important data point that we need to get because then we've got a metric to try to solve for. Like, let's say conversion rate's 1%, like we need to get it to 1.5. Maybe it's 0.5%. Maybe it's 0.25%. We got to get it up, right?
I would imagine that it's 0.5% or lower.
Okay. So then there's a few things happening. It means if your ads are working, meaning they're getting people to the website, and they're not just now they're not converting. There's one of two things happening. It's either you're marketing to the wrong audience or your website isn't selling the product well enough. You said that when they get it, they love it. Yes. So now we need to get people to want to buy it so they can love it, right? Yeah. Now, do you pick is there like, if I go to the website, like, do I have options or is there one box? Like, how do I know who am I buying gifts for? Is it for people that are 30 to 40? Are they for males? Are they for females? What's the
Okay, well, here's the thing. My audience for the box is all over the place. It's young women, young men, older men, people in rural areas, people in metropolitan areas, HR directors, business people, offices. That has been another thing I wanted to talk to you about, is that audience is huge. It's just everywhere. And it's like, do I funnel down? But anyway, how I pick the gifts is kind of based on where we are in the calendar. And so I try to pick pretty neutral gifts that can be a hostess gift, thinking of you, a birthday. If there's some holidays in that cycle, I'll do some gifts that are related to that, like Mother's Day, Father's Day, things like that. I don't allow people to select anything. That's something else I wanted to talk to you about. Yet that is an inventory risk that, I fund the business 100% myself. So that is got some limitations, obviously. So, I've been thinking about, do I let people pick some of the gifts or do I continue to pick them all? And I've gotten feedback from both. People are like, I don't want to pick it. I want you to pick it. That's why I'm getting it. And then some people have been like, I would like to pick one or two gifts that would better. How many
people do you think are actually gifting them versus keeping the stuff for themselves?
I think it would be 75, 25, 75.
You think, or do you know?
I do. Well, I'm guessing, but it's from feedback.
Yeah.
I get tons of emails and things like that about, I had this gifting situation. I want to share it with you, that kind of thing. I would
survey them monthly.
Okay.
And I'd list all the items and I'd have an option. Did I keep it or did I give it as a gift? And let them select.
Pop Sugar used to do that. Do you remember Pop Sugar? Pop Sugar Box?
Oh, I do know Pop Sugar. I know Lisa Sugar. Yeah. So
yeah, they used to subscribe to that forever, and they used to do that survey.
Yeah. So it's a good question to ask because you want to find out, are they keeping, are they really giving? I'm sure some are, but they might be keeping more of the items than you think, right? Other side of it is your audience is too big. You've got to funnel down. You've got to be more niche because you can't even build like a marketing campaign around it, and or you can't possibly buy gifts for that wider range and put them
Right.
into a box. So what I would try to identify is the perfect profiled customer, meaning like if I've got 100 customers, for example, there's going to be something is going to be the same amongst them. There's going to be a percentage of them that are like, whether it's male, whether it's females that are in a certain age group, they live in a certain area, there's going to be some correlation. There's going to be some group that's a little bit more than the rest. And I'd focus on that group because having that wide range, like I said, you can't possibly buy enough items to appeal to all of them, and or your marketing efforts become too widespread, right? It's like, oh, we're a subscription box for anybody that wants to give gifts. Like,
Yeah,
it can't be, right?
yeah,
And then I would realistically probably have two options: gifts for her, gifts for him, or mix, right? So
yeah,
that way, like Valentine's Day is coming up, like I might really want this because there might be a bunch of gifts in there that I could give my significant other, right?
right.
But you also, a really good question to ask is, who are they giving these gifts to? Are they
Yeah.
giving them to their spouse? Are they giving them to their kids? Are they giving them to relatives? Are they giving them to their best friend? These are the things that you need to start asking so that we can narrow down the product offering. Once you've narrowed down the product offering, we can then build ad sets that are more appealing to that demographic, and we can build a website that's going to convert that demographic better, right?
Yeah.
So this is a wild example, but let's just say that our gifts were to give to those that, like, to give to your spouse, and it's for women to buy, or for men, because I feel like men don't shop as much. So men, an option for gifts to give to her, right?
Yeah.
We now can be like, ads can be like, let me do the shopping for you. Like, this is what's great about PKs is that we send you a box of awesome gifts that you can give to your significant other. We take the thinking out of it.
Yes, and I do have some guys that they subscribe to it for that reason. And broader is that they want to have gifts to give the guys and gals that work in their office, things like that. So it's definitely a good angle.
So what we might find is that this is really like good for team leaders and business leaders, because then they've got females and males that are working within their office that they can give gifts to. So now again, if I've identified that, now I'm changing my marketing and I'm changing my website.
But you see what I mean? Is like it appeals.
You got to find there's more of one person. Like there is. Like if it's equal, then you pick. Like you've got to like make a shot. You got to take a decision here to like go down a narrow path. But I would believe you're going to see that there is a I don't know. I can't think of the term, but there's some correlation to who's buying your subscription.
Yeah.
That's your first problem. I mean, it's the biggest reason your ad sets aren't working. It's the biggest reason your website's not converting, because you're probably sending people there and 90% of them aren't even the right fit to be on the website.
Yeah. One of the things that I have discovered after doing in-person shows and things like that is that once people put their eyes on it and see it, feel it, touch it, they're like, oh, I get it. And so sometimes that leads me to the hard question of, is the idea, okay, audience aside, is the idea too complicated for people to, if they have to like look at it, touch it, see it, feel it, all the things and rummage through it? It's difficult to convert that sort of message online because you only have a few seconds to grab people's attention. So it's like,
it's only difficult because you're not niche enough.
okay.
You're not big enough. You can't explain. Like, imagine this. You're saying right now, this is a subscription for gift giving. It's a gift giving box versus this is a subscription for gifts for her. It's clear. I'm selling them fast.
Yeah.
You're making it easy for the male to have gifts to give to a spouse. You're making it easy for the team leader to have gifts to give to his team. Like, that's the messaging. Right now, it's okay, this is a gift giving box. Let me look more.
Yeah.
Right off the rip, I'm looking at this homepage and I see like a bunch of content. Everybody's visual. I'm not reading all this. So I'm scrolling down. I click on this first box and I'm like, here's the winter box reveal. So then I got some socks. I got this tea towel. I've got this makeup eraser. I've got this joy kindness mission box. Like, this is like, okay, what? This is a bunch of, like, I could say like, well, this is a bunch of random stuff. Like, this doesn't make sense. Why am I buying this? Who am I going to give this to? You want to take away all that confusion. You don't want people to think about it. And you just have to build a niche. You've got to niche down.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't gotten that feedback as far as like the gifts being too random, because it is kind of a, random scenario gifting thing. But I see what you mean. And also I'm thinking like, do I need to make different boxes, box for gifts for her, box for him?
I think so. I think you should have like 2 to 3 options.
Okay.
Because you can make special ad sets specific to those demographics. You could also make landing pages and see which ones are working best.
Yeah. And what's so funny is that homepage with all that copy on it. I got somebody to help me with that. And they were like, oh, you need to put this, copy on there. And I was like, that's a lot of copy. And so confirmed that it is a lot of copy on.
Yeah. I mean, you also want to look, what does this look like on, social, on mobile? So
you have to scroll down quite a bit for sure, because there's so much copy.
Yeah. You don't want to do that. You want to be able to show it fast. So I'm going to go to it right now on mobile. I mean, it's not bad. It just, this whole section here.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Needs to be like presented. Needs to be presented better.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. Yes.
So that's a big deal. It's probably why you're not converting. But those are the first 2 things I would do. Is I would narrow down who I'm targeting, and then make the offering on the website really target, like, be appealing and sell the person on it.
Okay. I mean, it's one of those things that you overthink, because the box itself has the message that I'm trying to convey through the box is connection, kindness, intention, that sort of thing. And you don't want to alienate anybody from that. You want everybody to feel that. But I always do think, like, when I look at the different types of people that I get feedback from, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the entire spectrum of the country in here. How am I ever going? And that's what has been difficult is I've been trying to appeal to
too many
everybody. And
it's like going to a restaurant when they have 100 things on the menu. Like, you're now not specialty.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh
like,
no.
It's too much stuff, right? You don't say, I want to go to this restaurant for Italian food, because there's like so much to offer.
We're gonna have a Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yeah, it's too much. So you don't want to do that.
Okay.
So that's a big first step you have to make.
Okay. Okay. What I wanted to ask you also was, what are your thoughts on doing a total reveal before the box is shipped, as to just that surprise and delight type of thing? Because I've thought about doing a total reveal prior to launching the box, whatever box it is, just to see if I can gain interest that way. But then I've also heard from a lot of people that they like the surprise of it. And I was just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah. So how do you typically ship your boxes? Are they on an anniversary billing, or do you ship them all on a certain day every quarter?
I ship them all on a certain date every quarter.
So what's the day?
The 21st.
Of that quarter. So let's say December 21st, March 21st, June 21st.
No, I go back a month because of the holidays. So it's November 21st, February 21st.
Got it.
May 21st.
So you reveal it after the boxes have been delivered to the vendor.
I do a video. I just got on TikTok. Granny got on TikTok. I didn't realize there was a whole world of, unveiling, unboxing.
Yeah.
So I'm in. And so I do a blog post. I show the gifts wrapped. So I do it.
As long as you do it afterwards, you're okay. Do it after they're delivered. Then the members that already got it aren't complaining, and you still have 2 months to sell the box.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's your way. And then, like, let's say you order 100, again, I'm making up numbers, and you've only sold 70 of them, you can put more, like, in your 30 days out from the month ending, you can spend some more money on marketing to try to move those boxes.
Yeah.
Right? The other thing too is, like, are you working with influencers to review the box on YouTube and go through all the items?
have done that, not very much, with mixed results. One, so sweet, wonderful gal, but did not, I gave her talking points and everything, did not do the messaging properly at all. So people were like, I don't even have any clue what this is. And then a couple others, I just haven't seen much response
Are
from.
you paying these people or you're giving them a free box?
Giving them a free box.
You don't need to give them talking points. Let them be authentic. Let them look at it as if they're a consumer and give a review of the box, right?
Yeah.
You're also giving them a free box. So you've got, your cost isn't high. If you pay somebody, then you'd want them to hit certain talking points.
Yeah.
Right? Paying someone $1,000 to review, like, hey, I need to make sure you talk about this. But if it's a free box, let them actually review it and give an honest opinion. It'll feel authentic to the audience as well. And also, you might get some feedback, but on top of it, you also get some really good content you can use for ads. So even if you don't get a sale, you got to remember that it's putting out content into the world.
Yeah.
And while somebody might see that video and not buy right away, they might come back because they see a Facebook ad that gets them to purchase in the future.
Yeah. And I have gotten, somebody has done a reveal without me interfering at all.
Good.
So, and that was awesome. That was awesome. So, but I definitely haven't done it enough to have a good overview of
right.
what would work. Because again, who am I going to give it to? My audience, like, do I give it to them?
It's too broad. It's too broad. I mean, there's subscription box reviewers you could give them to, but like outside of that, like imagine if like, again, I'm making this up. Let's say you mentioned that it works really well for employees in office or like a manager, right? So imagine if like there's an insurance agent that has a podcast or does weekly videos on YouTube, and you talk to him and say, or her and say, hey, I've got this subscription box. This is great for your team members. You want to check it out? And like, let him talk about like, hey, one really cool thing I do to motivate my team. Like this box is amazing. At the end of the month, I whoever had the most in sales got to pick the first item. I don't know. Like again, I'm making stuff up here, but then they're talking about it. So that's why you got to get more niche for sure.
Yeah, but even us talking though, it's like there's still a bunch of niches. There's gifts.
Yeah, but just pick some. You can expand in the future. Start with your one that has the best opportunity to grow fast. You can start with ones for him and her, and then you move on to like employee one. Then you move on to like grandkids one. What if there's one for grandparents that send stuff to give to their grandkids? The grandparents spend money.
That's a great idea.
Right? And like that comes every quarter. And when their grandkid comes over, they get to give them the stuff. Like grandparents spend money. And like, I bet you that would work really well.
That's a great idea. You're hired.
Over here. At least we got one thing out of this, which is great. We got one really good thing out of this. Yeah.
That's all perfect.
And it fits like your business model. It's like, this is the PK's gifting closet. Here's this. And like, imagine the website like almost looks like a closet. And there's different options. Like, you ask them questions. Are you a grandparent? What are you looking for? Who are you buying for? You start asking them all these questions, and then you recommend the subscription for them. And then you can start to have more tiers, right? Like what? Like you ask I'm think about this. They land on the website. Who are you looking to buy for? Who do you like to give gifts to? And you check all that apply. How much do you like to spend? Maybe someone's like, I like to spend $200-$300. So now you have this like premium box that's like $300 a quarter. Your margin's 50%. You're making $150 every quarter instead of $45. Your LTV starts going through the roof.
Yeah, that's a lot of tiers, which I would love to have.
Yeah, I'm just saying eventually you get to this point and like you get to use that data. That data starts to give you some really good information.
Yeah. So the first step I would suppose would be to survey my current subscribers and get some feedback.
100% survey the subscribers, identify the perfect profiled subscriber. Like who's the one that is buying the most? Like if you've got 100 subscribers or 500, like what's 30% of them or what's 50% of them or what's it? And like put them in a little bucket and start building out the subscription targeting them.
Do you incentivize to survey or no? Just let people do it? Or?
No, so you can, but I think you don't need to. I think you can just send them a monthly email, like give me your feedback on this. Like we're continuously trying to improve our products. Like tell me what you think about it. Did you like these? Did you keep it or not? Like on every item. Like give us a rating out of 5 stars. Did you gift it or did you keep it and
Yeah.
ask that on every question item?
That's perfect because that brought me right back to, I mean, I subscribed to Pop Sugar. Tell Lisa Sugar that she needs to get that thing rolling again because that was the best one. I loved that subscription box. I subscribed for 7 years, and they did that. They did that monthly, and I filled it out for sure because I mean I loved
the diehards. Will you've got low churn, which means you got people that love your product. They'll fill it out.
Yeah, that jarred my memory to that. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, I think we got time for one more. If you've got one more.
I just, if you can imagine my box, it has a ton of pieces and parts. The gift wrap kit probably has 25 pieces in it. And, to my knowledge, and I've had some people kind of research, I think I'm maybe one of the only people that does this gift wrap kit included, throw it in there. What do you think about that?
I immediately thought
savant.
What's that?
Am I an idiot or am I an idiot savant?
I immediately thought, I wondered if there's a subscription in that itself. So you send the gift wrapping stuff with cards. Like, nothing's worse for me when I got to go to a wedding and like I don't have a card.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I got to go stop at the store and grab one. And I'm like a guy that like loves convenience and stuff. So like I get annoyed of having to like put gas in my car, right? So
that's why I do it.
So like this just happened even for the holidays. Like if I would have got a kit that had the ribbons, had the little stickers to put to and from, like I literally wrote my nephew's names and nieces like with a marker on the like on the wrapping, but like had the clothing boxes, like that might be a whole subscription in itself. And I think that's a great idea. Like, 'cause I think like especially moms, right? Like they love to have that stuff, and have that readily available. And then like guys like me that are like I'm single and like I don't even ever like think about buying that stuff from Target. Like if that was delivered, that would be great, especially come the holiday time. Like you could probably, what you could actually do is I bet you in September, October, November, you could upsell a like $100 gifting supplies package with the subscription at checkout, and people would buy it. Like upgrade and get all these things for $100 or $50 to help you wrap all your other gifts this holiday season. Now you just made another like $30, $40 LTV. And it's like, and like you theme it, you have some cool ideas. Like the stickers could be cool. It could be the tape. It could be the box for clothes. It could be the wrapping paper. It's a million things you could put in there.
I love that.
Yeah. I would do that for sure. I would buy that in a second.
Oh, first customer.
Yeah, for sure. You got it. So that's what I would do. So I think that's in summary, niche down and survey the customers and think about a supplies subscription box. I think people would buy it.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Because people are like, it's just enough. I don't want to buy a roll or 10 bags or whatever. And I could definitely expand on that. I love it.
And reality of it is it's still a young business. It's okay. You can make all these changes and pivot. You don't know what'll work. I mean, Gentleman's Box was a monthly subscription. Yes. 3 years later, we pivoted to quarterly and it changed our whole business.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so you got plenty of time and I wouldn't worry about like not knowing everything yet. You'll figure it out.
Okay. I definitely realize that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Don't know it all for sure. It's been an incredible journey.
And there's tons to learn, and you're always learning. And I hope SUBTA has been helpful. And I want to let everybody know, we've got Sub Summit coming up in June, so hopefully you'll be there, Amy. It's going to be June 1st to the 3rd in Orlando. Tons of great speakers, tons of great content. We're going to be announcing the theme for this year in the next couple of weeks. But for those of you watching, check out Sub Summit. Go to subsummit.com. We've also got applications to apply for the pitch competition. Amy, you should do that, by the way. There's a $50,000 grand prize.
Oh, I need that.
$10,000 in cash, and it's $10,000 in cash, and then $40,000 in-kind services, which one of them is a full site rebuild. So that's a huge deal. So for those of you watching, make sure you apply for the pitch competition before January 21st. There's multiple rounds of that. That's sponsored by Prayala and Pitney Bowes. So thank you to them for that. And for those of you that want to get tickets, go to subsummit.com. Amy, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so much.
And if you need anything in the future, let me know. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.